All right. Audio interfaces. An audio interface is different from a DAC amp. This is a DAC amp, Audio Engine D1. You plug it in USB, you plug it in optical, power at USB, you get left and right RCA outs. They're controllable via the preamp in the front. That also controls the headphone output. You got a power button, you're done. FIO E10K, Micro Origin, Shit Stack, all those things are DAC amps. Where this pile of things is professional audio interfaces. Now, the main difference, because they all have USB, they all have headphone outputs, all of them, but these all will handle full phantom powered microphone. So here's one of the Rhodes that I use in my headphone recorder, and here is an Audio-Technica AT2020, which is one of the more popular ones, and these will get a separate review from this one because this will be 6 hours long, and I'll probably use, let's see, this one was loaned to me by a user months ago, back when I was still using the Logitech USB mic, and he's like, hey, you can borrow this, you can borrow this. They're my little brothers, he's not using right now. So this is a thumbs up for big brothers, which I'm a big brother. Just taking your little brother's shit and just sending it off somewhere for months. And because I had this, and because I had this, and because I was using them, I'm like, oh, this is so much better than a USB mic. We'll get to that little USB mic, which is still exceptional. But, alright, so let me buy a couple and see how it goes. So I bought the Focusrite, which is like the most popular one on the internet. I bought this Behringer, which was the cheapest one I could find, that still did, you know, phantom power and everything. And then Shure contacted me. I was like, hey, we'll send you some things. And they sent me that little Shure and that thing and this. And these have to be sent back because Shure don't play around. And this is their revision of a tiny little professional recording interface. And let's talk about them all right now. So, you look at the front or back, in this case, of any of these. And we'll look at the Behringer first because it's the simplest. You get volume for the output. You get, I believe it outputs volume. This is a controller for here too. I haven't hooked anything up to this in like months. Sue me. Instrument 2 and microphone here. And this is all plastic and lightweight. And back here you have a switch to switch off or on the 48 volt for phantom microphones. And you plug it in. And I'll do that with this one right now because I just had it hooked up. It lights up. Drivers I may have installed drivers for this months ago on my laptop. There's dust in there. Excuse me while I undust it. But the point of these are, you're supposed to plug in your headphones, plug in your microphone, then plug in your guitar, then you have a recording interface between you and Audacity, etc., etc. The Focusrite is very good. The Steinberg is very good. There are limitations on each of them, and I will get to it. And this has one or two quirks, but this is what I'm hooking up because I just had it hooked up and I know how it's working. Because this one has the weirdest kinks of them all. Because you can switch to use headphones to monitor. So I'll put this on, click direct monitor in, turn it up. Here, look, watch. See, turn it up, turn it up. Turn it up, and now I'm clipping right about there. So okay, so now I turn the output volume up for my headphones, and now I can hear the microphone clearly. The problem is, with this Behringer, you push the output for the headphones out too much, and you hear it clipping. Like, it actually, the amplifier can't take it. And here's the best part. Hello? Is this the, look how hard it's clipping right now. Even though it's not lighting up the clip indicator there. But the clip indicator is there. That is clipping immediately. So I have to lower this down. I'm lowering down now the microphone sensitivity there. And this is just listening and showing you, but if this was in game or you're doing a podcast, this is what matters, what's actually showing up in the computer. So I'm gonna keep going until I'm not clipping anymore, which is right about there. Which puts me, instead of being at 2 o'clock, it's now at like 10 o'clock. And then if I put my headphones back on to monitor, I can't hear the microphone because it's too low. So I turn this up, and I could barely detect the sound. It's coming in crystal clear and strong there, but I could barely detect the microphone playback, even at maximum output on this. And then you put into the fact that you're probably going to be using this to actually game on, or in this case, I'm going to be playing music. So I hit play, and now this is acting as my sound device now put into these headphones, and it's clippingly loud. It's, let me straighten that out. It's not so loud that I can't wear them. It's just that there's a fundamental flaw with every single one of these, that the headphone outputs are not bad quality, but no power. And that comes from the fact that they're all USB only. Every one of these is, none of these have an option for like an external power jack. Actually, this one does. There's an option for either USB 2 or 5V DC, but you have to switch. And the problem is, if they're doing this 48 volt up conversion to power microphones, there's not much left over to handle like this here. This gets USB in, and all it has to do with that is take that 5 volt and squeeze it up into a big ball and then shoot it out the front or back in RCAs. That's its job. This, and this have to take 5 volt and do everything this can, and then somehow power through a 25-foot cable a phantom microphone. So the headphone outputs on all of these are not very good. Not very loud. The DACs in them, because again, there's a DAC in this, a DAC in this, a DAC in this, and a DAC in that. That one makes that noise, by the way. The DACs in them are all good. The Behringer's meh. It's probably equivalent to the 202. The Shure doesn't have line outs, so all it's got is headphone outs. So I'm only judging the Shure's DAC based on what I've plugged into it. And I brought the 600s down to give them a last listen, because I do a lot of my mixing when I'm doing sound demos on the 600s, and none of these will push that to like you could push them to maximum and listen to these, but no one ever says push things to maximum. So I took the 40s out, which are a lot easier to drive, and is when I could turn this up, because right now it's playing music and it's recording, well, it's feeding into the microphone on this, and if I turn the output up, I hear music. Music is fine. Music is getting loud. I'm at like there. Then I get to 3 o'clock, and now the music is starting to distort, and now the music is just terrible, and I still can't hear this microphone. So that's used. The direct monitor on that is so you could hear the microphone on the headphones, and then you could have other sources coming in so you could play along, all that stuff, and that just doesn't work. That is no good. Bueno, zero. Let me stop that. We'll close it. Move it up because it's blocking her hair. God. I'm going to stop this because when I unplug the power from the Behringer, it should freak out. It's not doing that currently. That's good. We'll go from the cheapest one to... Actually, the next cheapest one is the Steinberg, but I want to get the this out of the way. This is the Shure MV1, and it's brand new, and they said, hey, you want to review this? I'm like, Shure just contacted me? Yeah. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll take a look. So, this is a rock. Like, this metal casing is bulletproof to some caliber, I'm sure. Like, you that's what they're going for with this line. Like, this is like that's literally... Pretty sure the Steinberg still weighs more, but this is, I don't know. I love it. I love the fact that it's just, I could just pick it up like a caveman. It feels like a rock you pick up to bludgeon someone with. I'm not worried about, I'm gonna have to send these back to Shure, and I am not concerned in the slightest about damaging it. So let's plug it in. The back here has the headphone out on the back, the mic in on the back, and again, let me point this out. These are XLR, and you can get them as short or as long as you want, but it'll also support 1/4 inch if you have a 1/4 inch microphone. And we're gonna briefly brush over like the that and how it doesn't work on any of these, even though I've tried. So let's the Boom Pro. Plug that in. She lights up. We've got nothing happening. I'll switch to the 2020. Okay. Don't need an adapter for this one because it's 3.5 mil. A little light in the back to activate phantom power mode, because you do have to activate it by holding down the microphone. And this is interesting because unlike these other ones, Shure decided to put it built-in DSP, so you could pick from flat, conversation, conversation with music, instrument, a picture of a speaker, which I believe is like live sound, and then flat again. From my little bit of testing, and when I do the microphone tests, or when I do the full 3-part of the Shures, you're going to hear what those modes do. I leave it on flat. So, same setup now. I could actually hear myself, and it isn't because the mic is different, because I've done this test. But you hit headphone, that's the headphone volume, it's all touch interface. Slide your finger down, slide it up. It's pretty accurate too, it doesn't jump. Once you take that off, now you're controlling the line input of the microphone, which I could show you by relaunching. No, I want to relaunch Audacity, because I've got to do this every time. Oh, god damn it. It keeps trying to switch to my internal microphone on my laptop. So I'm going to completely disable that. Disable. Okay. So now you'll hear, or you'll see, yeah, that's that one. So let's put the microphone sensitivity up, cranking it to maximum. And again, the AT2020's got a different range, so I've got to be like this to really get it to pick up, whereas the M5 here didn't need that. And I'm listening to it, and I could hear it, and I'm listening to the headphones at maximum, and I could hear it, and then I play a music, and it plays without distortion. Well, I should pick another, not a Tool song. So I could hear my microphone, I could hear my music, but again, the headphone is at maximum. This maximum level, foobar is at maximum level, and the problem with that is these are only M40s. These are not hard to drive. I switch these out. If I pop the 600s on there, I'm going to take my eye out one day doing that. You're going to lose an eye doing that. There's still sound. Obviously, there's still sound. But it's not what I would consider enough for maximum power, maximum power. I can still hear the mic, I can still hear the music, everything's mixed well. I could change the DSP mode, and I could hear the vocals change. Well, again, we'll get to the DSP modes when I do the full Shure review. You can mute the microphone. So now I don't hear that, but it's also not outputting there, which is messed up. So hold on. There we go. Hello? See, I've had this happen, and I'm not sure if it's... Stop music for a second. Alright, so see, it's not recording. Hello? Hello? Nothing? Unmute the microphone. And then it's recording. Hello? 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 And then it's recording. Hello? 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 And then it's recording. No, it's not. It stops it all together. So, if I hit the modes... Hold on. Hello? 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 And then it's recording again. I'm going to try to work this out before I do the full review, but for some reason, you cannot use the... You can't listen to something on this and record with it without it being fed into each other. I thought I could get it to not do it. Turns out I can't. Because right now, my headphones are playing my voice talking, and if I play the music, and I can still hear my voice. So I don't want to hear, let's say I wanted to listen to the game but not hear my voice. Doing that completely cuts off the input signal. So that's a little bit of a problem. I'm gonna, if I hold it down, I know what it does. It'll just, hello? 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 I can lower the microphone output. It does, I can lower the headphone output. So that's sort of like, Everything else, all these other ones have a direct monitor button. Boom. Direct monitor switch. Boom. Even the Behringer here is a direct monitor button. Which you say if I want to listen to my headphone, if I want to listen through the headphones for my mic or not. And this doesn't have that button. You don't get to disable if you're hearing the mic. You got to. Because if you don't hear the mic and you mute it, then programs don't hear the mic. Which is bad. Bad news. Again, I'll see if that is the actual case. I'll do some more research. I'll contact them. See what's going on. Stop. Now. This is the one that was sent to me. The Steinberg. And it's around 80 bucks. This is under 100. These two are over 100. And these two are under 100. This one varies. And this one is built like, I mean, it shouldn't ring. I could tune something to that, which makes sense. It's a musical instrument. Let's see, I've done those two. So the Steinberg here is a giant piece of metal. And it's heavy. And it's fabrique in China, which is the same as everything else. Now, so I'm going to plug it in. Oh, another thing that this doesn't do is it doesn't have any other instrument outs. It's just headphone. Whereas this still has, you know, RCA outs if you want to hook up to powered monitors. This has RCA outs to hook up to powered monitors. This has 1/4 inch outs, which you can get adapters and hook them up to powered monitors or hit the wires. That one doesn't. So this one has line outputs, which are pre-outs, I believe. Gotta plug this in. It lights up. Oh, I haven't plugged this in a while. I plugged this in on my other computer when my other computer was my other computer. So this is actually installing device driver software. Let's just wait around now. Pretty ladies do things. No. Is that lost behind here now? Comes up as a USB 2 hub, then the Steinberg UR12. It's flashing USB, which means it's installing. In the interim, let's plug some things in. Let's plug in that. Our knobs are input gain 1, input gain 2, and that's this one, which is a 1/4 inch. We've got the output, again, sharing between the headphone and the, it says line output in the back, but I believe that's variable. So let's plug in. I need the adapter. Where'd my adapter go? Switch back to the M40Xs, which are studio monitors, which makes sense to use in this thing. Ready to use, good. Everything should be set as default. Playback devices, default. Steinberg set as default. Let me disable my everything. Okay. Prison sex. Put prison sex on. Make sure that works. Can't go nowhere, one of these videos. Oop, wrong knob. Yes. Again, full power, full output, and it's loud enough to listen to. But that's like, I turn anything else up to full power, and these easy to drive headphones light ablaze, or they should at least be too loud to listen to. This is like portable phone levels of, oh yeah, this pushes it pretty loud. No, not really, not particularly. All right, so let's pause that or stop that. Let's open up Audacity again, which should be using this by default, showing actually one channel. That's correct. Let's put up the levels. Peaking. We got a peak indicator. Peak. Peak, yeah, the peaks match. That's correct. Unlike the Behringer. Let's put a direct monitor on. I want to hear it. Again, maximum power. Maximum power. I popped out a little bit. So maximum output. About 3 o'clock on this. I can hear everything just fine. I could put on Prison Sex or Stink Fist. And I'm listening to this and listening to that. I should stop blocking my backgrounds. And if I shut off direct monitor, now I'm just hearing Tool and not this, but it's still recording, which is what this won't do. I just need it. I mean, the DACs in all of these are pretty good. I'm not going to say they're exceptional. They're not ODACs in all these. There isn't a magic ODAC level or Sanskrit or shit Madi, you know, wave crest craziness going on. But the DACs are good because I've used the outputs on the back to go to, like, big amps. Big amp. Big amp. You can buy one of these for your microphone and then use the outputs to go to an actual headphone amp. You could split the outputs and go headphone amp, powered speakers, headphone amp, speaker amp. So it is possible. The problem with buying one of these is do not think that that headphone amp is going to solve your issues of needing a headphone amp. You still need one with this. Hello? Hero. I close that again. Don't save. Stop the music again. Pop, pop. These are the parts other people would edit out. This is where we get to know each other, is in the middle of this. So that works like I expect an interface to work. That one's got some issues. That one's got some issues. Now let's bring out the most popular one on the internet. Mostly because it's bright red. And come on, who doesn't like aluminum in red? Admit it, you love it. Shut up, baby, you love it. The back of this one, again, line outputs that are 1/4 inch. You have to either buy adapters or buy TS, not TRS, TS connectors. Let's plug it in. I will also get to the aesthetics of it and why it's so fucking much better than everything else. Well, the Shure is an exception because it's tiny. Again, it's installing device drivers. It should have had these already, and it's already done. It's already done. It's done. It's done. Ready? I'm turning some knobs now. Let me turn some knobs. This is the better unit of the two normal ones, and the Shure obviously has a very specific market because it's tinier and has DSPs. 1/4 inch again, plug that in. Let's switch to the Dread soundtrack. Alright, just for shits and giggles. Judgment Time. This has on it it's crackling like a bitch because something's set up wrong. Scarlett 202. I've had this happen. Hold on. Ugh. It's doing that thing. Let's try 16-bit. Yes. Apparently 1696 is not supported by the device. Failed to type test tone. Alright. This one might have to be done from memory because she's throwing mad static. And I know it doesn't do that because I've been using this. This is the one I've been putting on my pewter. My pewter. This is the one I bought that I'm keeping. I may put this on the Patreon. You know, give me whatever you want for it. This one's going back to its owner and this one's going back to Shure. So this is the one I bought. And aesthetically, it is the nicest one. You get 2 microphone inputs, so I could plug in both of these. And then when you turn them up, direct monitor's off, when you turn them up, oh, what's this line instrument? Do I have 48 volt enabled? Oh, boom. The colored ring around the colored ring around the colored ring around the knob that peaks and changes color is the greatest thing I've ever seen in a thing. And I know everyone's always complaining that Zeos just goes nuts when something, why don't you talk about the sound? When it's not freaking out and causing it to like go into crazy crackhead mode. Because all it is, oh, 2-channel. Okay, I'm stupid. Let's try 2-channel 16-bit. I should probably put the headphones on. It was in 1-channel for some reason. Still crackling. I may have to reinitialize the device. But just for an aesthetically pleasing thing on your desk, this is great. Okay, you get to choose between line or instrument because you either get to put the 1/4 inch or this. And there's different levels and gains that have to be adjusted. Your direct monitor function switches like that. So now I can hear, well, if I turn this up, now I can hear myself talking. In fact, can you on the microphones hear me talking? Probably. Now, someone's boiling a baby to death outside. Awesome. When you're in the computer here, you get to switch it to left and right stereo, I believe. Yeah, 2-channel left and right stereo. The problem being, when you're just listening on the headphones, both these microphones are being monetized. Mono. You can't switch, like, I want this to be left, this to be right. So you're just like, this is your bass guitar, this is your lead vocalist, you can mix and match your levels here, you can monitor them. And then, the other thing that this does, better than all of these other pieces of shit now, is it fulfills the dream I've been hoping for, and anyone who's been watching this channel for a long time would know, of 2 volume knobs. Do you see that? Do you see how there's 2? Does anybody fucking see how there's 2? This one is for headphones, it's a tiny one. And this big one, that's for the outputs on the back. Do you understand how convenient that is? Here's your powered monitors. Whatever's playing, your big amplifier, there's your volume, and then you plug your headphones in and there's your volume. It's unfortunate that, again, the volume is not that, the headphone out is not that powerful. If the headphone out was that powerful, this would be the greatest audio device on earth. And I'm scratching it with my nails, and I shouldn't be doing that. This one is the one you're going to buy. Everyone buys it. There's a reason everyone buys it, because aesthetically it's the best looking. It functions the best. Of the headphone amps that these all have, this one was the cleanest. Like, this one doesn't distort when you get really high. They all sort of get there. This one distorts the least. Can you buy one that doesn't have 2? Yes, here's the Solo. $100 buys you the Solo, which is 1 microphone instead of 2. Actually, wait, do you lose the... Oh, no. Oh, no. No! You lose the secondary volume knob. That's so sad. But you keep these, which look amazing, by the way. Up. Up. Up, 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 up. Ah, okay. And then you can just do that. And if you're using powered microphones, they'll no longer be powered. They'll just go to sleep. You don't have to worry about adjusting the levels. You just, that's like a mute. Put them back on, they clip on, and then they're working. I'm glad I bought this. I'm glad they sent me the Steinberg, so that the Steinberg would inspire me to buy the Focusrite. Are there other interfaces? Sure, tons of them. Literally, if you weighed every single one of them, they would be more than 4,000 pounds, which would be tons. Do they all have issues? I'm sure they all do. The Shure's got that issue where you can't mute the microphone without it muting on the actual machine. Steinberg dings, and the headphone out is sort of low. The Behringer has just distortion everywhere, and the levels don't match. But there is a place for this. If you're a podcaster and you're watching this, I don't really cater to podcasters, but the next microphone review will be the 2020, which I'll compare against the Rode, which I'll compare against probably that little Shure or the big one. I don't want to combine that's like its own separate thing. But if you have multiple if this is your only sound device, this is it. You've bought this, you have a computer and this, then you're gonna have to live with the low output power of the headphone out. So no 600s for you, but M40s are okay. If this is just what you're using to do, talking with people, and you want to monitor it occasionally, by all means. You could have this and a Panda Stack, or this and an X1S. And you could say, this is just for recording. This is just for microphone. When I was using it on my desk, I was using it just for microphone input. Which, really, even the Behringer will work if you're using it for just microphone. Because once you take the headphone out of the equation, then it doesn't fucking matter if you could shut off direct monitor, or if the power up is too low, or if it does you just plug in, push it to the side, and use it. And then for my headphones, I was using, everything else I own or have borrowed. It's mostly borrowed. Someone's playing ragtime tunes too. Oh, another thing I want to mention before I go. A couple things, actually. I originally, when I got this, or when I got the Steinberg, I was like, oh, shit. Oh, the Steinberg doesn't have 1/4 inch. It's got the separate instrument. Here is the Boom Pro. And it upsets me to say it, but I've lost the adapter for the end of it. But I was attempting to get it so that this unit would output to the headphone and take the microphone input. And it just wouldn't. No matter what I did, no matter the settings, no matter the adapters I bought. And this is a stereo to mono with another one that converts it to 3.5. It would not work. So there's still going to be the issue if you have a Boom Pro and you want to use a good amp DAC combo, that you have to split off the microphone, and if it's not on the same ground, like it probably won't be, if the grounds don't match, you'll have a buzz. And I was trying to get rid of that with this, and it doesn't seem to go. So the only thing I still have to say about that is, if you do have a Boom Pro and you're worried about feedback, MPOW makes a little isolator, and there's a couple other cheap ones, and they're not the greatest solution, but they work, and you got to put them on the headphone end. I think I'm done. I'm exhausted. Splitters, here's a splitter. This will just plug into one, and I can put both microphones up to it, and you'll hear both microphones in mono, obviously. And then I bought this. This is a Sescom switch made in America. And this will take 2 microphones, and then you can switch them. And I was using this when I have this set up finally on my big computer again, on my gaming computer. If I'm on Ventrilo, because I do have a Ventrilo, which you can find if you search for it. But if I'm on my Ventrilo, and I don't want to have both mics hooked up, because this is, again, an issue in computers, like Vent looks for 1 mic. This is 2, so it's like, what am I doing? So I'd hook 1 mic up to this, and 1 mic up to this, and hook it up to here. And then, when I'm in this room, this is my microphone, and then I have a second, I use my Rode M5s, switch over, and now the microphone in my living room is going, because I have a 25-foot cable. And I would just switch back and forth which microphone I wanted to use. That's very specific to me and being on Vent and not wanting a wireless headset to do that sort of crap. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm going to pack that one up and send it home. Mic review soon. Other mics soon. Everything soon. Wallpaper link in the description. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Whatever's left of it.